you guys have your blankets and your popcorn, and oh my god, that's loud. Much better. Hello everybody, my name is Macaulay Gaming, and welcome to a game called Tiny Bunny. Now, Danielle actually requested me to play this game because she saw Markiplier play it. And then I watched his video on it, and it was actually really cool. So we are going to play a new game. Here we go. So it's like a cinematic horror game, which is really damn cool. Now let's see. The wind clawed at my window all night long. I right-clicked by accident. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song, waved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. So they were shouting, ha! And laughing, ha! And arguing. Parents. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. Oh yeah, disclaimer, like I said, this is a horror game, so recommended for the lights off. I have my light on so that way you guys can see me. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh god, there's a face right there.
Aww, is that my little sister?
Mom.
Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look how slouched you are.
Hide. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Aliyah, is that how you say her name? Aliyah already finished her breakfast munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic she almost looked like your typical girl from the commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside. In my nose. All because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Costeo Odyssey? I love that show, I don't know. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Yeah, you dropped it. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I fell around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Karina? Okay, that's not an R, that's a P. Capna. Capna. Ha, that's my mom's name. Ow, my lip. Guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. Smart move, my man. Oh. That's cool. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Ooh, she could be. Yeah, I'm in my blanket because it's cold. But this blanket's so fuzzy. It's so comfortable. or the sounds coming from the attic, or the thick forest. I imagine my grandma coming in my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Olaya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And then they lived happily ever after at the end. End of video. Oh, I'm joking. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those are the times that the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. I cannot read today. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of the conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket. And she called it her cute funeral box. That's what I'm gonna call my casket for when I die. My cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet. Patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. When I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had died. They all had a dead? Do you know how to English? But watchful. Oh, they all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. Okay, that makes sense. I crawled out from under the table. Ola was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland creature. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. I told you I can't read. Now I speak gibberish. I'm joking. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture in the glass. Olaya, look, it's a fox. Oh my god, that actually does look like a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit... That's cool. And look under a certain angle. Yeah. Not outside, on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up! Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah! There it is, but it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, it does. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. No, I couldn't see the fox either. Wait a minute. Was that fox just playing tricks on me? It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty pattern similar to stretched out nettle leaves kept creeping up the glass. Okay. Sorry if I keep messing with my necklace. I just like doing this. It's cool. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Oh my god, that luscious beard. It looks like Jacksepticeye. Not gonna lie. Look at him. I would always ask jokingly, come on, shave it off, it stings. This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olaya always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, what's the point in all this, through the wall. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply, for the sake of our family. I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, deadliest word that started with a D. Dick? Divorce. I didn't mean to right-click, sorry. D-I-V-O, I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families. No. I like Olaya. She's cute. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl again. You and your owl talk again.
You said you believed me just yesterday.
Sorry, my voices are completely off. My throat's not ready for this. Has anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill.
Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still...
Karina, please, stop. Just let me get ready in peace.
Your keys are in the basket near the phone.
Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr of yourself and finish eating already.
And the owl?
There was no owl.
But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes.
Oh my fucking god. That scared the shit out of me. No, as soon as that chair moved, I was like, what the frick? Alaya sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with their fingers the size of an apple each. Last year you had a... What the fuck? What's this mean? Bye-bye. In Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Oh, okay, that's cool. I like this game. This is really cool. Last you had a bye-bye in your closet, and now this owl.
But I saw it.
Alaya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. I'm sorry, Alaya. She's cute, though. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice?
Don't bully our girl. She's afraid to sleep alone because she's still little.
Aw, she's so cute. Alaya powdered her lip. That is some cool sound effects. Alaya powdered her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. That staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Look at her. Look at her. That's a weird face. All that look in her eyes so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. The minute I passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. That's cool. It was stored on incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad had already had to glue together once.
Well, that's cool.
It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. Like a relationship or a broken heart. But how do you fix a relationship? Oh, I just made that joke! Oh my god, I just made that joke. Oh man. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Aww. Look at her! She's so damn cute! She was my little sister and protector with my life. Alaya had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Oh my god, that scared me. And then Alaya said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. Is that the bye-bye? Curious. She became obsessed with it. Okay, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say Alaya is crazy. Yeah. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Alaya refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? I actually think they can. I was going to say that I don't think they can, but I believe they can. I was going to say I don't think they can, but I think they can. Because I think if you describe it well enough. Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. Oh my god, dark room. This looks like blood right here. I heard that. I heard a creak. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind the desk were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gasped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z! Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. Oh! I just wish for anything to happen to it. It doesn't really matter... Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Alaya begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. A small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You got the wrong number," or "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all? But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet. My mom! I thought you were going to say something else. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building. A 9-floor concrete building buzzed with a neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy. Going during the day, as shadows lay dormant in the corners on the closet cobwebs and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, Rusty Dreams were moaning. I know why Rusty Dreams were moaning, because they were having a fun time with rats. The attic was occupied by noisy giraffes. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. Then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Well... Somewhere at the edge of my perception I could hear flute. I feel a jump scare coming on. It was mixed with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. There's a window literally right behind the camera. I'm not gonna do it. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh no, it's giving me the option. Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. Okay, that is loud. Holy crap. You know what, screw it. I'll keep it at a loud volume. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. Okay, yeah, they just turned down. There we go. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time.
You are yelling.
Okay.
If you need to keep one of the earphones off so you can hear your own tone level, then you need to do that. Because you can hear all the yelling and it's like you're talking right next to the person.
Alright, shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious to say, oh yeah, I just read this. Oh.
Quiet at all.
Suddenly the music has stopped. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why did these guys stop? The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear it pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carbon oval and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Okay, I thought that was a jump scare. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. I failed jump scare! My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. That music, though. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. I can't read. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remember the funeral, my grandma laying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs. Okay, that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling her up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyeballs, I'm gonna do this, sorry, would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the islands of Bayan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue stands a cabin made of wood. They lay hard and ashen hair, for the spawn from devil's lair, to feast and always leave alone. God's faithful servant named Anton? Anton. That's my name. In game. Okay, I'm saving. I don't like this one bit. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hangman. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. Uh-oh. I remember him staring at the forest intently, as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes, so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then the doorknob twitched slightly. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm covering my eyes. I'm not fit for a horror game. Then I turned halfway. Once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear, my wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. I don't like this whatsoever. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open. Oh, God! I'm scared. Danielle, what have you gotten me into? The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tony. Excuse me? It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tony, you asleep? My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. Alaya! Okay. Whew. Oh my god, I'm about to have a heart attack. I almost screamed from relief. Aliyah, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Aliyah frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. I'm so scared. Oh my gosh, she shook. This is a really good game so far. I love it. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Aliyah down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Aliyah sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video. Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise. Oh, wow. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. I couldn't be satisfied with that feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tony, you coming? Yes, just a moment. Oh, mother! Oh! Okay, that was cool. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Aliyah and her owl in the morning. Okay, I want to see if there's any problems with this. I love you, OBS, right now. You aren't making this difficult. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Aliyah and her owl in the morning. Bing-a-bing-a-bing-a-bing-a-bing! Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a. So persistent. Yeah, you think? You think? How long have we been recording? 27 minutes, not that bad. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Aliyah always hides. Tony, come here. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello. The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Volva. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. Okay, that's cool. I like the cinematic to this. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right. Windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. Okay. Let me just pause this for a second and think on my theory real quick. I'm thinking that it's either the shadows, his mom, or his dad knows something about this child. Not Anton, but the child that went missing. Because if you saw the stairs, there's like a little door there. What if he's down there? Okay. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which had giant shadow cast over me. Yeah, see this door right here. If that even is a door. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I hadn't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it?
Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot.
Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well?
Yes, everything is alright, thank you.
The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice that looked like a
Boy, and to end this unpleasant conversation soon. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Want to help other people, just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police
officer stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Yeah, don't say.
Ah, well then. What grade are you in, Tony boy?
6th.
I remember in 6th grade. That's when I think I started the channel. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I'm a senior now. So, junior, sophomore, freshman. 8th, 7th. No, 6 years ago is when I started the channel, I think. No, 5 years ago. So I was in 7th.
Oh, okay.
Have you made any friends here so far?
Not yet.
I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. Oh, bye-bye! The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. That just scared me. Like, in my mind, I was like, eh. His face still stood before my eyes. I wonder what it's like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest, swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me, eventually? Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest?
Seems like it, poor child.
Well, seems like it, poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ. No. The UAZ. Okay. UAZ. What's UAZ? A Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand, which was produced on the Ulyanovsk car factory. I don't know how to say that, or whatever. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splaying off old paint from the windowsill. I remember all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Okay, what does this say? The series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. Well, that's cool. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. I do not know why my left ankle hurts. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, BAM! They solved any complicated case. Which is crazy. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and that clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. Bad idea, that's probably what leads to all of this. And I'll get a reward. Aliyah will be so happy. Not only Aliyah, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe they'll even save us from the D word. Divorce? Yeah. I fantasize about buying Aliyah a Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi? What is that? Tamagotchi. Let's see. By using the power of the internet. What is a Tamagotchi? It's one of these things. Hold on. That'd be cool. It was made in Japan, too. Which, obvious. That's obvious. Wait, what happened to my... Okay, yeah, you could have better saw me in that one. And getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. Aren't those illegal in some places? When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. Song, yeah, what song? Canon, a song by all, female summit pop, band by the name of Combinatia. Combination, that was widely popular in the early 90s. Okay, that's cool. I had little to no idea what the accountant's job like. What was the accountant's job like? I think that's actually what they do. Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Elia. Aww. Mr. Beast, here's $1 million. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. Want the place to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals? Or something even worse? Even worse, echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Elia. Oh, I want to go play with my sister. Yeah, look, there's this. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Yeah, look, there's that latch on the door. Open to the kitchen or to the front yard. I'd go to the front yard if I so wished. What's this mean? My parents prohibit me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time I really want to hear from my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer, and the distance crackling, imagining the wind howling in the ice-laden chords. What's another thing? The cross! The cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging in the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the cross sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. Ow! Dad called a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. Okay, there's another thing right here. What's this? Mom's peg top, family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, then she gifted it to me. Elia was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something, a fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Not even my little sister was a bit too old for this old squeaky peg top. Okay, do I want to go in here, or do I want to go to the kitchen or the front yard? I'm going to see what's in here. The dark, stuffy closet. There's an axe! Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I cut myself with the freshly sharpened axe. Yeah, you think? Elia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is living in there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. Elia! And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Elia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the Crypt Monster's den. Okay, so now we know what's in there. I say we... front yard or kitchen? I'm gonna go to the kitchen. Hi, Mom. Is there anything in here? Ooh, there's a couple of things. Let's see. The script and stain-covered calendar was most of my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running in the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. I grabbed the dusty calendar leaf with caution and tore it off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky description from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carried the log. If 7 can't carry it, bring the 8th from a fairy. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the law cannot escape. Crumbled the gray leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blotting paper. Alright. Let's see what this is. Radio. EMERCOM, Russia has declared a state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snowdrifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. That was a good voice, wasn't it? Okay, let's see what's up here. The side of an old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Aliyah likes so much. That's cool. Among that still life picture hung a piece of rolled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Volva and be the first to call the police with the happy news. Anton! Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my head. Aww. Let's open. See what's in here. Open. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Aliyah in there. But now I can only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Okay, what does pelmeni mean? No, I wanted to click on this. Pelmeni. A Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling thin, unleavened dough filled with mincemeat. One may even call it Russian fast food. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I never knew. Turn back. Turn back. I say we go to the front yard. Anton, I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. Okay, where am I supposed to go now? I've basically gone everywhere I could. It's difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. Ah, you're killing me here, so you've had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings? Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Aliyah's room. Ah, so we had to go tell why. Okay, front yard. Hey, let's go. I opened the front gate and went into the field. How long have we been recording? I'll do an hour each episode. Why not? Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snowballs became as high as my knees. I remember my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. The hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent, a little too silent. So silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Aliyah. Time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at a forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Aliyah turned to stone listen to them. So their parents would be Medusa. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Aliyah present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day, it all changed. Something important had left our home. Something scary filled the remaining void. As if we were a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. Oh, maybe... Like I said, maybe they have the kid From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms in the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away, a siren is going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I almost said Spider-Man. Spider-Man! I meant Siren Head! ... Oh! Hi, Anton! I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, this white field and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Oh, no, I didn't mean, forgot. I didn't mean to read that, or do that. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. It's a mitten! What if it's the boy's mitten? I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of the Broken Lights. What's that? A Russian mystery TV series telling the story of the daily life of Russian police officers. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. That's crazy. He was always so anxious, he was also always anxious. With a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. It looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Watch it be Elia. It's blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. That's cool! A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Mother! I saw that! A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. Oh. So it was my imagination, after all. Check that off the box, thank you guys! Silence regained for a painfully long time. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. Looked at the mitten once more. Run away or take? I feel like I should take it. I'm gonna save. Yes. Yes, overwrite this save. So that way, if I make a mistake, I can just run away. Or take it. I'm gonna take the mitten. See what happens. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Bova! A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Oh, there it is again. I slipped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. But didn't budge. Pulled harder, the branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet, I squeezed it without thinking. Something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny stream between the mitten and the snow. Blood. Steam rose from the snow pile. was blood. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invading the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Okay, that's cool. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than the scenery. The nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. Hoot, wheeze. The babai! The owl! The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried-up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry! Run! Don't look back! I felt like I was in a nightmare. The slowly clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued the drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone, my boot slipped out of the hole, and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump, and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped the wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. Ah, blast! Just... Oh, almost dropped my phone. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. As if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom unlocked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and obediently gave away. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch clanks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she has always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom. My fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. And with it, the last bit of strength I had left my body to. Oh, she changed. Like her clothes. No, I'm kidding. My legs gave away. I propped myself against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you? Oh no, her face. I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. Aww. Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel, her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was something chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look, over there. The fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again. My pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with a finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Oh, they're dogs. Dogs! Just a small pack of strays, with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me, like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile slowly disappeared from Mom's face. And she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. So were the dogs part of her imagination, or his imagination? What if they attack Alaya? Mom, I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look, they're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance. I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, some detective I am. So we almost got ourselves killed, got a mitten, dogs out there, and we get in trouble. That's what detectives do! In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course. A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. Mom, look, this is Volva's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where. Let's call the police right away. Like the officer had told us to. Mom, look. Ew! A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Mom, you better not be a murderer. Stop at this moment. Alaya will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. And you joke around like this? Oh, at that moment I realized the man was actually Wolfram Snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy, cried Wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come, take your pills. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell in my palm. Already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me! Told you to stay home and that would have given you a good whooping for that. Come on, take it or you won't be able to sleep at night. You have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Volva's mitten. Maybe it wasn't mitten at all, just like the forest monsters. And Alaya's out. Am I going mad? Oh my god! What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me. Serenity, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in this game. In fact, I don't even have internet to call you. Get out of my game!
I don't know, she's not here. Bringing yawning and indifference along with it. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I played Serenity with Among Us. I played Among Us with Serenity a couple times. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? Oh shit. No, Mom, I was just thinking. What about, I wonder?
It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son, not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything alright? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. Seemed like the house had changed. Sofa's fabric had become discolored. How long were we recording? Okay. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different. Dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A little melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Alaya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episode and switched to the other tapes. Slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of the spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Okay, I'm gonna leave this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This game is really damn cool. Now, I might play this again after I'm done beating it, but see what happens when I run away. Because if I run away, maybe I can try to prevent all of this from happening. Or if you run away, probably just come back to it later on. Because you never know. If you leave it, then something else might happen, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be playing more of this no matter what. Even if this has 500 million dislikes, I'll still play it. Don't hit dislike, please. Oh my god, I'm gonna take this off. And do this. Hold up. Pop. There we go. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe. If the button is red, that means you have not subscribed yet. Make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!